Lord Voldemort is a character from the Harry Potter series who is widely regarded as the villain of the series. Voldemort's heritage is tied to the Gaunt family, who are the last living relatives of Salazar Slytherin, one of the founders of Hogwarts. His mother, Merapi Gaunt, was married to a muggle, Tom Riddle, after being taken by a love potion. However, when she stopped taking the potion, Riddle left her and she gave birth to Tom Marvolo Riddle at an orphanage, where she died. Due to his conception under a love potion, Voldemort is incapable of feeling or expressing love. He has a troubled childhood and eventually attends Hogwarts, where he becomes a skilled and powerful wizard. J.K. Rowling, the author of the series, based Voldemort on some of the most evil people in human history, including Adolf Hitler. Voldemort is a character that is secretive, friendless, and highly ambitious. He shows contempt for anything that makes him ordinary and wants to be different, separate, and notorious. While at Hogwarts, Voldemort becomes one of the top students and a prefect in his 5th year. However, he is also obsessed with his parentage and searches for evidence of his father's magical background. When he cannot find anything, he assumes his father was not a wizard and changes his name to Lord Voldemort. He also searches for evidence of his mother's family and discovers his grandfather, Marvolo Gaunt. After finishing his 5th year at Hogwarts, Voldemort goes on summer holiday and visits the old Gaunt family home, where he meets his uncle, Morphin, and learns about his father. Voldemort then goes to the Riddle mansion and kills his father and grandparents before modifying Morphin's memory and making him think he was the one who did it. He steals the Gaunt family ring and places one of his friend's wands back in Morphin's hand to make it seem like he used it to commit the murders. Voldemort has a group of dedicated followers, known as Death Eaters, who he controls rigorously. Although they were never caught in open wrongdoing at Hogwarts, there were a number of nasty incidents that were never satisfactorily linked to them. Voldemort acquires the Hufflepuff Cup and the Locket of Salazar Slytherin by killing Hepzibah Smith and taking the artifacts as trophies. He uses the cup to create his 3rd Horcrux and the locket to create his 5th Horcrux. He gives the cup to Bellatrix Lestrange and puts the locket in the cave he visited as a child. He hides the diadem in the Albanian forest. Voldemort also gives a diary containing a piece of his soul to Lucius Malfoy and tells him to send it to Hogwarts. He hides the ring in the Gaunt family home and uses magical enchantments to conceal it. Voldemort emerges from hiding and meets with Dumbledore, but is denied the job position he was promised. He curses the position and goes into hiding again. During this time, Voldemort recruits more followers and becomes the most powerful and feared magical tyrant the world has ever known. He is eventually told about a prophecy that says a child will be born who has the power to defeat him. This child turns out to be Harry Potter, and Voldemort spends much of his time trying to kill him. The protection Harry's mother gave him allowed him to kill Quirrell and force Lord Voldemort to leave his body. Voldemort then fled back to the Albanian forest. A few months later, the diary, the first Horcrux he made, was still in Lucius Malfoy's possession until he put it in a cauldron with Ginny Weasley's schoolbooks, ensuring it would make its way to Hogwarts. This set in stone the plan that Voldemort had all along to reopen the Chamber of Secrets. The part of Voldemort's soul who lived in the diary possessed Ginny Weasley and made her open the chamber. Harry was able to destroy the Horcrux, but not before the diary had wreaked havoc at Hogwarts. 1 year later, one of Voldemort's followers, Peter Pettigrew, also known as Wormtail, found Voldemort in the Albanian forest with the help of rats. Voldemort told Wormtail how to make a temporary body using spells and created himself a new body using Nagini and her snake venom, along with a potion made with unicorn blood. This gave him a very temporary and weak body, but it was enough to carry out his plan to get a permanent body. Wormtail then brought him a Ministry of Magic agent named Bertha Jorkins, whom Voldemort tortured to get information from before killing her and using her death to make his final Horcrux in Nagini. In total, his soul was split into 8 pieces: himself, the diary, the ring, the cup, the locket, the diadem, Harry, and Ginny. Voldemort learns about the Triwizard Tournament, which is taking place at Hogwarts, and about one of his most loyal followers, who is in hiding and thought to be dead, Barty Crouch Jr. He disguises Crouch Jr. as Professor Mad Eye Moody and manipulates the tournament to force Harry to play. Crouch Jr. makes sure Harry wins by touching the cup first, which Crouch Jr. had turned into a porky that would take Harry to the Riddle Mansion when touched. This is where Voldemort gets a full and permanent body using a concoction made from 3 ingredients: a bone from his father, a hand from Wormtail, and the blood of a foe. Voldemort wanted the blood to be Harry's so that the magical protection his mother gave him wouldn't work anymore, as Harry's blood would be in his system, canceling out the protection. Voldemort tries to kill Harry, but is stopped by the spirits of his most recent victims, including Harry's parents, coming out of his wand due to a phenomenon called Priori Incantatem. Harry escapes and informs the Ministry of Voldemort's return return, but no one believes him. Voldemort takes advantage of this and begins building his army again, recruiting giants, dementors, and other magical beings, as well as breaking out imprisoned Death Eaters from Azkaban. He eventually takes over the Ministry of Magic and Hogwarts, reinstating Snape as headmaster and appointing the Carrows, who are also Death Eaters, as professors. Voldemort finds out through torturing the wand maker, Ollivander, that he and Harry's wands are brothers because they share a tail feather from the same phoenix. This is why he hasn't been able to kill Harry, as their wand's connection is preventing it.